Es muy buena pregunta. Algo pasó cuando yo vi a Marilyn Monroe saliendo de una película de La criatura del lago negro, decir, la criatura era incomprendida, todo lo que necesitaba era amor. Se fusionaban Marilyn, el amor por Marilyn, los monstruos, todo en uno.
I must confess, I never considered what would come after creation.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations on the film. So Guillermo, I want to start with you because I saw a tweet the other day that said, Guillermo del Toro has the imagination and creativity of a woman who spends her time daydreaming about meeting her soulmate in the most gothic situation imaginable. And then you reply, I think I do.
Sí.
So I wanted to ask you, when did you realize that
I was a 14-year-old girl.
that this a more romantic, emotional side of you was kind of shaping the way you would like to make films, or you made films?
Desde que era yo muy chiquito, me atraía muchísimo el melodrama romántico. Y me interesaba muchísimo como los resortes de la narrativa de Edith Wharton, de las Bronte, de Mary Shelley. El cristal de que estaba hecho mi alma resonaba más con las escritoras femeninas. ¿Sí? Había excepciones, Maupassant, Chekhov, siempre me han parecido más introspectivos. Y justamente sus grandes historias, algunas son de mujeres. Entonces para mí eso era muy interesante aplicarlo a la historia de los monstruos, porque algo pasó cuando yo vi a Marilyn Monroe decir, saliendo de una película de La criatura del lago negro, decir, la criatura era incomprendida, todo lo que necesitaba era amor. Se fusionaban Marilyn, el amor por Marilyn, los monstruos, todo en uno. Y realmente me gustó esa fusión y dije, esto es lo que yo quiero hacer. Quiero hacer historias desde el otro lado, no del cuate con el rifle que está cazando. Quiero contar el cuento desde el lado de la criatura.
Me encanta.
Sí.
So that's Guillermo. I think it's really interesting how your character goes from discovering language to understanding the pain that words can carry. So when he says Victor, that only word holds like pain, love, but also abandonment. So I wanted to ask you, how was your process in order to find a voice that feels new and naive, but at the same time broken?
Yeah, I think it was a long process, and it was a process that sort of sustained during the movie. The voice was changing, and I was lucky to shoot almost chronologically in the way that I got to. The first scene we shot was the final scene, so I had to talk a lot more than I would have liked at that time. But I worked with an amazing man named Jerry Grenell, who Oscar also works with, and Jerry and I went through all kinds of different accents and things, but then looked at the blind man, David Bradley, who's from Yorkshire, so we sort of used his voice. And then there's a combination of RP, because the first words he hears are Victor's, and Victor has this kind of RP English accent. So there's a blend of accents, and then there's, I guess, like the level underneath that, which is all the sort of pain and anguish and understanding. And I remember watching, I hope this isn't like too like a giveaway, hopefully it's more of an Easter egg thing, but Guillermo told me to watch Elephant Man with John Hurt, and he does so much in that film with his voice. So I think there was a kind of, there was something in that I wanted to have as well.
Awesome. It's amazing how one word can carry so much in your interpretation, so congratulations.
Thank you. Well, it's like a baby, right?
Huh?
It's like a baby.
Yes.
You know, like Ma.
Yes, like mom, like that,
the
yeah.
sun, is flowers, is no food, is everything.
There's a scene in the movie where your brother Williams, he says something like, did you ever stop to think where you were going to put the soul of your creature? And you reply no. But as an actor, where did you put the soul of your character? Like, for you, what was that heartbeat of Victor Frankenstein that whenever you wanted to go back to him to really embrace the character, you went to? Where do you think you put his soul?
I guess Victor's soul, his soul lives in his defiance. I think it's a very fractured soul of the child. When his mother dies, I think it kind of it stunts him there. I think it's almost like that zombifies him right there. And everything, you know, it's funny, it's like For the creature, one word means everything. For Victor, so many words mean nothing. You know, that's the other side of the spectrum, you know. And so that's that brokenness, and there's something in there too that just wants to have pleasure and wants to feel, but it's so locked into all this construction and pain that it can't find its way out.
Es muy buena pregunta y para mí la respuesta era muy curiosa. Es el alma de la criatura, que aparentemente no debería tener, es el alma de él niño, maltratado, se la pasa y luego compone el alma con el femenino de Elizabeth. O sea, la criatura es Elizabeth y Víctor, el juego de espejos en donde Víctor y la criatura están reflejados, y antes de crear la criatura está él reflejado en los espejos de Harlander. O sea, y él pasa esa alma sin pensarlo. Y la criatura por eso aprende las palabras papá, Víctor, mamá, Elizabeth, ¿sí? Y luego amigo, que ya es el mundo. Y es muy bonito para mí cuando la criatura que no tiene nada le da la hojita a ella. ¿Me entiendes? Eso es como el momento en que él se vuelve humano por primera vez en cierta forma. Entonces, para mí lo interesante es que la película responde al alma. O sea, ahí está. Y la forma, esas palabras, las tres palabras. Friend, que vino de cuando lo vi por primera vez. O sea, cuando lo vi por primera vez, lo abracé y agarré la mano de él y dice así.
Qué hermoso. So I just want to say that I believe that filmmaking was created so you could make this movie, you guys. So beautiful, beautiful adaptation. Applause to you. Thank you so much. It was great meeting you. Congratulations. Muchas gracias.